Welcome back to another episode of Plinkster Outdoors, and if you followed my channel long enough, you know that I'm an avid turkey hunter. Last year I was successful killing a Rio, 2 Easterns, and a Miriam, but I was one shy of having my Grand Slam. I hunted Florida last year hard for my Osceola, extremely hard, 4 days. I didn't even hear a bird or see a bird in 4 days, but I met my buddy Hunter, and he said, next year come out here to our lease and see if I can put you on an Osceola. That's what he did. Second day of hunting, this guy came up and it was great. The first day we went out and we heard a lot of birds, but we had some hunters coming on us. That wasn't a good thing. So the next morning we woke up and tried a different spot, and it was cold. A cold front has hit southern Florida and it was 34 degrees in southern Florida. And it was cold, I'm not gonna lie to you, but if you're a turkey hunter, you know those cold, calm mornings, those birds gobble like crazy. So I walk, from the truck, we get about 20 yards, a bird fires off at about 500 yards. We try to close the gap on him, and we set up at about 150 yards, and that bird gobbled and gobbled and gobbled and gobbled, but he was henned up, he wouldn't come in. So we get up to move on that bird. And as we were standing up, a bird out of nowhere behind us gobbles, probably about 200 yards, that we hadn't heard all morning. And he double gobbles. And so I looked at Hunter and I said, man, we got to get on this bird. We get in the trail. I call one time, he cuts me off, and all we could do is stick the decoy out in front of us about, probably about 15 feet, sit down, and within 2 minutes, that bird come running in. Woo! Grand Slam is complete. Man, that happened fast. Holy cow. That happened so stinking fast. All right. So let me give you the skinny what happened. We set up on the bird up here this morning, and the bird gobbled his head off and gobbled his head off and gobbled his head off, and flew down in the field and couldn't get on him. He eventually went the other way, and we were going to get up and move on this bird. Then all of a sudden, this bird out of nowhere gobbled as we took 2 steps towards that bird, and we came over here, sat down. I made a few calls. Within 4 minutes it was over. So that is actually the first Osceola tom that I have ever seen, and I did not want him to get 12 feet from me with these new Federal TSS loads with this choke, because if I did, it'd been about the size of a golf ball, that pattern, and I did not want that. So he got out there probably about 15 yards, and I laid the smack down on him. So whoa, my first Osceola, my Grand Slam is through. Ah, man. Yeah, decoy was at, decoy's at 20 feet. It just happened too quick, man. It happened so quick. 2-year-old. A 2-year-old. Probably a, I don't know, probably about an 8-inch beard. All I know is that bird was hot, looking for love. Man, I tell you, this is probably one of the most excited I have ever been in the woods. I worked my tail off last year for an Osceola. I hunted, and 4 days last year, didn't hear a gobble, didn't see a gobble. This trip, yesterday we were on some private land, some public land, and it was frustrating to say the least. Hunters walked in on us, and came out here. It was a shot in the dark. We set up on this bird, never even heard this bird, but I got my first Osceola. I really don't know what to say, but my Grand Slam is now complete. All right, so my Grand Slam is done. Now this is my buddy Hunter. Say hi, Hunter.
How you doing, guys?
So I met Hunter last year at turkey camp at in South Dakota, and at that point I've done killed an eastern, bunch of easterns, and my Rio and my Miriam, and I found out this guy is from Florida. And in Florida, of course, that's the only place you can shoot birds in the face, Osceola birds in the face anyways.
Yes, sir.
And he's like, come on up to my lease. And we've been talking, a lot here lately, past couple months, trying to get this hunt orchestrated. But, I want to thank him and everybody else that allowed me to come out here and shoot this bird in the face. This is probably my favorite turkey hunt I've ever been on, because I've worked the hardest for the Osceola. And I wanted to get that bird all up in that grill of that chicken on a stick, or what is that? Is that chicken on a stick?
Yeah, I think it's a thunder chicken.
And I wanted to get it close, but this sucker was set out at like 15 feet from us, and I know what pattern that I shoot out of this Carlson choke, out of this Stoger, and it would have been about the size of a golf ball, and I did not want to miss. That would have been a little embarrassing. So, but man, thank you so much for having me out. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, y'all be safe and keep hunting.